What's going on, my dudes? Oscar checking in with an all new video today. It is Halloween, and because of that, I have my setup here. I got my spooters and my cobwebs over there, and then I got a whole Junji Ito set up right here. It's not all of his work, sadly. I don't have everything he's ever done, but I do have a bunch of it, and I've been collecting it pretty increasingly, and at an alarming rate. I've been collecting a lot of Junji Ito stuff, and I have zero regrets, though my bank account is steadily shrinking. I'm only kidding. No, I'm not. So today, I really wanted to make this a special one. I read a bunch of his stuff, like just kind of on the fly, just to try to like get some, get a more of an understanding of Ito's work, though I haven't read everything that you see there, sadly, but I did read a handful of those things, and we'll talk about them later on in the video. But for now, since this is about one specific manga today, I wanted to talk with you guys about Censor. Yeah, so it's wild, like we're over here talking about Censor by Junji Ito. I actually just watched the movie last night called Censor, though the name is different. It's spelled Censor, which is somebody. Well, in this film, I don't know if it's like a real thing that existed in the '80s, but they call them censors. Pretty much people that like go through and edit the violence in movies and kind of like tone down the violence in films, or decide if a film can be shown or if it will overall be banned in a country or whatever. And this one takes place in, I want to say, England. I know it's somewhere in Britain. It was really well made. I really enjoyed every second of it. I love the music too. It has like that vaporwave kind of score that people love so much right now. I actually like it myself. It's really good stuff. I mean, like the subject matter for both is like pretty different. Like one's about this woman who censors films, and this one's about like a cosmic entity. I just thought it was funny. Like I watched that film last night, and since I was going to talk about this today, I thought it'd be cool to just kind of include that, and I definitely recommend it. It's definitely R rated, so just keep that in mind in case you are underage and your parents get upset with you for watching adult things. So let's talk about Censor by Junji Ito. This is definitely one of his weirder stories. Like this is kind of a cosmic deal here. I'm gonna try not to spoil too much of it, though. Sadly, I will end up inevitably spoiling parts of the story. So this follows a reporter named Wataru Tsuchiyado, and as he embarks on this journey to find the elusive Kyoko Byakuya. So who Kyoko Byakuya is this woman who was somehow in this explosion at the base of this mountain called Mount Sengoku, and she was at the base of it in the 60s when it exploded, and she was somehow cocooned. And when she came out of the cocoon, she was a woman with that like dark hair, and when she came out of the cocoon, she had yellow hair, gold hair, really. So this is the the sleeve, the dust sleeve from the book. And it's a really nice sleeve. And these are the different characters that you meet, and I'm pretty sure like that's the cocoon that she was in when she emerged, and that's Kyoko Byakuya right there. And then there's a reporter. That's that dude right there. He's the one that we pretty much follow throughout the story, and the others are like a cast of characters that you meet throughout. And it's funny because as I was going through it, I couldn't help but think that this dude right here looks like an evil Carl Sagan, or however you pronounce his name. They tell me it doesn't kind of look like it. I'll even post a picture. I'll post a picture that I screenshotted up here that I took right there of him in the manga. And legit, I was reading the manga and I was like, this dude looks like a fucking evil Carl Sagan. And it was funny because it makes sense that that Ito would do something like that, given that this is a cosmic story. Or maybe it's just a coincidence that the dude looks like fucking Carl Sagan, like the Japanese Carl Sagan. So this is like the inside of the book, or the beneath the dust jacket. And it's a censor. This was released in 2019, the Japanese version, and then the Viz signature Viz Media version of this was just released this year. I think this month. I think we're in October right now. I think it was released either this month or the month before. I can't remember. I really enjoyed the story. I kind of like pounded through it just to do this video because this is like kind of like a last minute idea, and that's like the contents page right here. And this is the chick before going to the mountain, or actually, yeah, I think it's like before going to the mountain, or prior, or post her mountain excursion. And it's really cool. Like, it's, I want to say for the most part different than Ito's usual, colors. I wanted to compare this to like Remina because I read Remina too. Like I poured through Remina for this video. I sadly wasn't able to get through everything because like I did it so last minute. Like it was such a rushed idea. But this is a little bit gory, so just bear with me. So you can see here, this is like really dark. Just, I mean, what's going on, it's dark. Also, just the way that it's drawn, like he uses a lot of like shading, and it's really dark looking. And the artwork is incredible because it is Junji Ito, and he's a fucking master at what he does. So now look at that, and then look at this. Like, well, this is also pretty horrifying to look at. It's not as dark. Like the coloring isn't nearly as dark as in Remina. The coloring in Remina is like a lot darker, even for like just random things where like nothing's really happening. Or I mean, things are happening obviously, but I mean, like look how much darker it is here than it is in Censor. So my assumption is that this is like a stylistic choice on Ito's part. Like he actually meant for this to just be overall a lot brighter. Because like even his other work, like I read Fragments of Horror, which is on the end there, and it's the same deal. Like everything there is like really like saturated, really dark looking, and then you have Censor, which is overall is like really bright, and it kind of like threw me off guard when I first started reading it, just how bright it was compared to his other work. Because like I said, I just kind of like poured through a bunch of his stuff to make this video, and everything that he does is like so saturated, and then this is like really light, and it makes sense, like since it is about a woman who had like dark hair, and now her hair's like golden, like she's got like golden yellow hair. And it kind of reminds me of like the juxtaposition from Ari Aster's films. Like he's got Hereditary, which is really dark, just like this really brutal film, and I recommend it 100% if you're into like horror and you want like a good, genuinely scary fucking horror film. Definitely recommend Ari Aster's Hereditary. And then I bring this up because Hereditary is just like this really dark fucking film, and then just in tone and then in shade, it's like really saturated, really dark. And then he does Midsummer, and Midsummer is just like really bright and really like pretty looking, and it's a daylit horror. I guess that's what it's sold as a daylit horror. And I thought that was really fucking cool that he's got that he was able to like pull off this juxtaposition with one film being so fucking dark and then the next one being like brightly lit, and just showing that he can do both, and I kind of feel like that's what this is right here for me. It's like he's got this one here, like most of his work is just like really dark looking, and then this is the pages and everything are really bright. But there are like some darker panels, and I won't show those because the truly like dark panels in this manga are the ones where you see this cosmic being that is the one that's kind of influencing people to do horrible shit. And this is a story that takes place in this village that once existed, called Gyokami, I think is what the village is called. If I messed the name up, I'll put whatever the actual name is. I think it is Gyokami village. And then there's this like hair that's like the divine Amagami, and what it is, it's like gold and silver. It's like that golden hair from the explosion 60 odd years ago, and even before that there was there's a period in Japan's history. This is true to Japan. There was a period in their history where like Christianity was outlawed. Like I know priests or whatever, monks would go to Japan and try to like convert people to Christianity, and they would be fucking executed. It's like that movie that Scorsese directed. God, I can't remember what the hell it's called. I'll put it up here. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. I keep wanting to call it Sanctuary. I know it's not called Sanctuary. God damn it, what was that movie called? But I know Adam Driver's in it. There's a bunch of really good actors in it. Andrew Garfield is in it as well. God, I cannot remember the name of it, but yeah, I'll put it up there so you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, there was a period in Japanese history where like Christianity was completely outlawed and people would be fucking murdered for, or I guess to them it was just like imperial. It was like probably like before Imperial Japan. I don't even know, but I need to brush up on my Japanese history a bit. But this was a real period in Japanese history, and yeah, you would pretty much be killed if you practiced Christianity. So a part of this story is that there's this dude named Miguel, Saint Miguel, and he came to this village, Hikiyokami village, and he brought these people Christianity, and they followed him, and they followed him pretty much to the end. This you pretty much learned this like right off the bat in the book, so this isn't like super big spoiler shit. Like you learn this pretty much right off the bat, and it comes to this village, and they throw him into that Sengoku volcano at the top of the mountain. They throw him in, they throw his followers in, they put him up on crosses, and they throw him into the volcano, and then he had like golden hair, so his golden hair like wafts through the air, and everyone in this village has like one strand of golden hair, and this golden hair like allows them to essentially commune with like nature, with the gods, whatever. Like they gain like clairvoyance, and this one girl, Gyoko Byakuya, essentially gains like superhuman abilities, not superhuman abilities, gains like super sensory abilities, like where she can pretty much hear or see anything, even travel forwards or backwards in time. And it's a really interesting, really odd story. And I actually wanted to show you this battle. I want to show you this battle. Just thought it was really cool. Just like the signature crazy Ito style. Because even though this is like a really brightly lit horror, for Ito's kind of way of doing things, I think he does a phenomenal job of capturing everything. And there you see the reporter dude, and you see Kyoko Byakuya, who was the main girl. I love his women. I think Ito does a phenomenal job of doing women. He does like a great job of doing like cute girls. Like his lead in Uzumaki. Like she's probably my favorite girl that he's done. Yeah, I can't remember her name. I feel like I just had it on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, pretty much like his lead in Uzumaki, like she was my first taste of his work, so she's definitely my favorite character from his works. And this kind of reminds me of Uzumaki in that it's so fragmented, where it feels like accounts, right? Like it feels like it's broken up into vignettes, and each vignette is an account of this person, of Byakuya, of Gyoko Byakuya, or you could even say it backwards, since the Japanese way would be like Byakuya Gyoko. You would say the last name first and then the first name last. This is a really interesting story, and you see a lot of like different crazy shit that happens, and there's a whole thing with this right here, these like bugs that want to get stepped on. I won't say more than that, just so you read it for yourself and see the whole thing with it. But it's fucking insane, and that's what I love. Even though like it's so much more bright than a lot of his work, it's still fucking crazy, and like the escalation is great. Though I think the best escalation that I've seen from his work so far, of like the newer stuff that he's released, is Ramina. I think Ramina's escalation was the most reminiscent for me to Uzumaki. I do want to read the other stuff. I haven't read Shiver yet. I haven't read Smashed. I just got Venus in the blind spot today. So I'm definitely going to be pouring into those, and really want to explore those stories. And then really want to read Frankenstein. Right, Frankenstein will probably be the next one that I do jump into, because I really do want to. I want to read everything. I want to do like a big Junji Ito video. This is just kind of like to kind of highlight this story, but I do eventually want to do like one massive Junji Ito video. I just gotta like talk about all of his stuff. So yeah, like I was saying, this is kind of broken up into like vignettes, and it's cool because it does feel like it's being reported. This dude tries to catch up with Kyoko Byakuya, and every time he gets close, she kind of disappears into the landscape. Or she's also being hunted by this weird group of people that want to get what they call the Akashic records, and she is the key to unlocking the Akashic records, which is essentially like the key to the universe, to mind expansion, like some fucking McKenna shit, like Terrence McKenna, like mind expansion, trying to think of some names here, trying to pull some names out of my ass, like Tim Leary, Aldous Huxley once he started experimenting with drugs. Yeah, you can see like just how bananas this man's fucking work is, and it's so good, dude. I don't know how much work this man's put out into the world, because he started in what, 88, and he's been going like nonstop since then, and he's put out so much stuff. I call him like the Japanese Stephen King, you know, like he's the Stephen King of Japanese horror. That's just what I think. Like I hope that doesn't offend anybody that maybe hates Stephen King or something, but that's just the way I look at it, because they're both so fucking prolific and they have so much work out, and it's all, in my opinion, most of it's like really incredible. Wasn't a huge fan of Gil. I need to reread Gil. Maybe it's just because I read it at a time where like I wasn't ready for it, and it kind of like, I know it's kind of like bleh, but maybe if I read it again, because I have it right there on the shelf. I had Uzumaki as well, but I gave it to my nephew as a birthday present, and now it's like really fucking expensive. I got it when it was like $20, and this was fucking years ago, and now it's like mad expensive. Yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend this story. Like I said, it's broken up into several vignettes, and each one kind of tells like a section of this overarching story, and it's kind of like Uzumaki in that way, where we're kind of like built on a thing that happened. Like I won't spoil Uzumaki either, but it starts off with like little things. It just keeps piling on and piling on until it gets to the point where people are riding fucking tornadoes. And Uzumaki, at one point, people are riding fucking tornadoes. So yeah, you should read Uzumaki if you have not. If you can't afford like a physical copy of it, you can. I think you can get the download on Amazon for like $7 or something like that. Really cheap. It's like 600 and something pages, dude. But it is the most entertaining fucking read I think that you will encounter in a long time, and it'll keep you busy this holiday season. You know, going into like November, December, especially like December when everybody's gonna be off for like what, a week, maybe more, because of Christmas. So yeah, that's me. Those are my thoughts on Censor. I feel like I maybe had more to say, but I just wanted to talk about this one and share some of the panels, and I think it's a great story. It's a great cosmic horror story, definitely Lovecraftian. I think it's a great ode to like classic Japanese horror as well. I think he mentions different creators of Japanese horror, which Junji Ito is a great supporter of. I guess that's what influenced him growing up. Like the dude that did Drifting Classroom. I'm pretty sure that's one of his influences, which is like a much older work. I want to say Uzumeda. I don't want to mess that dude's name up, because I have like the way that I think it's pronounced, or the way that I think it's spelled in my head. It's like Uzumeda or something like that. That did Drifting Classrooms, and just he also highlights just different Japanese authors that have influenced him, which I think is really cool. I like it when creators do that stuff, when they speak about, you know, who their influences were. I think that's really cool that different people do that sort of stuff. And so that is it for Censor. I don't really know what else to say about it. I kind of wanted to do a little bit differently. I didn't want to just show panels, the whole thing, and then just say a bunch of stuff. Kind of felt like that might be getting a little bit stagnant. I kind of like breaking things up, changing it a little bit every time. I don't want to do the same thing every single video, because I don't want you to get bored of that. So that's Censor. And now let's talk about some of the other Ito stuff that I have read recently. Alright, since I read this one just before starting Censor, I really wanted to talk about Remina. I fucking love this story so much. Remina is such a fucking wild ride. Like at first, I tried to read it once before, and like for whatever reason, it didn't really grip me. And I ended up having to go back, and I read it through completely the second time around. Like I'd read like 50 or so pages, and I kind of like burned out a little bit. Maybe it was just because I was tired at the time when I started reading it. But I went back through it. I went back through the whole thing, and I loved it. The second time around, I fucking loved every second of it. I didn't want to put it down. I kind of was sad too that it even ended, just because it was so entertaining. And you can see Remina right there. He's got like a thing with crosses. I don't know what it is with the student crosses, and he's got the tentacle stuff. You know, like his Lovecraftian thing, his obsession with like Lovecraft. And see on this side as well. So he's kind of like goes around and through the back here, so you can see this side of it as well. So I thought that was really cool. And that's a main girl right there, Remina. So there's a planet. That planet right there is named after that girl. She is the daughter of a scientist, and he names this planet Remina after her. And as it approaches Earth, it consumes every single planet in its wake. People freak out and they start attacking Remina. And you can see here the planet is consuming other planets along the way towards Earth. People freak the fuck out and they say that it's her fault and that she's the one that brought the planet upon them, so they try to capture her and fucking kill her. But it isn't enough to just murder her. They want to kill her in a ritualistic manner. They want to string her up, and I'm trying to find some panels. I also want to highlight the fact that like you can see how much darker this is than Censor. Just like the panels are like so much more dark. And there's kind of like I want to say like a noir feel to it, because there are like elements throughout the story that feel like this was something that was created in like the 50s. And if you read it, you'll notice what I'm talking about. Like there's flying cars and shit, and just the designs of the different people, the way the characters look and everything. It looks like he's kind of doing a shout. Not want to say shout out, like showing respect to those Japanese creators that influenced him, and you know, drawing the characters and drawing the settings and everything in a manner that makes it seem like this was created in the 50s. It does have that feel like this was something that was done like at some point in the past. Just everything about it screams archaic. I guess I don't want to. That's maybe like a little rough. I don't mean that in a clowning way. I'm not trying to clown on this because it's actually really good. It's actually one of my favorite Ito stories because of how fucking insane it is. I don't know if I showed this panel already or not, but I just want to like just show you different panels. I'm not trying to ruin like the overall story, but I did want to mention that like these people go fucking crazy and they're trying to kill her. It's a little bit kind of spoilery, but it just shows you like the insane lengths that these people go to try to like capture and fucking kill Remina. And like they have like this obsession with doing it in like this ritualistic manner, because they think that if they kill the girl Remina, that the planet Remina will fuck off. You know, leave them alone. Yeah, Remina. Please check it out if you enjoy it or whatever, or if you check it out because you're interested now because of this video. Let me know. I really do want to know your opinions. So yeah, that's Remina. And now let's talk about Fragments of Horror. So I read Fragments of Horror just before I read Remina, and I want to show you this work because you can kind of see that there's stuff going on there. And everything, what I like about this is everything on the cover are different characters that you meet in the story. And so these are all like different people that are in the story. And I want to show you, there's nothing in there, right? No, just the dust jacket stuff. So these are all different characters that are in the story. But I love the work, all that dust jacket work. That's really cool. I recommend this one as well. This is a collection of short fiction by Junji Ito. Actually, yeah, look at the insert. Look at the book itself here, the hardcover. So these are the things that you see in pretty much all of this is actually from one story. So these are the things you see in I think like either the first or the second story. There's pretty much like I won't say too much. You know, I don't want to like ruin this obviously, but this one right here, futon, if you will. Right here, this woman and her husband. I think these two characters are actually in another story as well in the same collection. Okay, so this dude right here. So you can kind of, I don't know if you see him well or not. You get like kind of like peeks his eye out right there. I'll spell. I'll kind of like ruin this a little bit. So yeah, he has sex with a witch, and the witch essentially curses him for being an idiot and cheating on his wife with the witch. And this is what the witch makes him see. She makes him see all that. And that's like the very first story. So like right off the bat, it just kind of like goes off the rails, and it's fucking insane. Just there's different stories. Like this dude right here, it's the same people. These are the same people from the first one. He gets cursed, and he has to hold his head up so it doesn't fall off his shoulders. So he's on the cover actually. You see him right there. He's like keeping his head up so it doesn't, fall off of his shoulders. This is like this one was fucking terrifying. Let me find the cover of it. Actually, fuck it, let me just show you this. This one's called Blackbird. This one's fucking terrifying. I won't say anything more about it than that. I won't show you any more panels from Blackbird. Actually, Whispering Woman. That one's good too. This woman has like no control of her life, and she takes on this girl who needs to be told what to do at all times, and becomes like her mentor, if you will. And this woman had like no control of her own life, and when she mentors this girl, she kind of gains a sense of purpose, you know, because in her personal life she has no purpose, and it's kind of a wild story. There's another one that I really wanted to show you, but I can't find it, and it's this girl who is afraid her dad's gonna die. She kind of projects that into everything, and she's terrified. She wakes up having nightmares that he died, and then she meets this family that have members within the family that passed away, and the whole family gathers together and they bring those people back, the after image of them back, and there's like a nice twist at the end of that story, which I really enjoyed a lot. And I think it's one of his best works, just because it isn't really a horror story, and it was really well done, and I really enjoyed that quite a bit. So I definitely believe that Junji Ito is a master of his craft, and I cannot wait to consume more of his work. As you can see, I have a bunch of stuff on the shelf. I'm just gonna go through everything that I have of his and try to pick up more stuff too. I still need No Longer Human. I had Love Sickness, and I purchased it from someone, and then for whatever reason they no longer had it in stock, so they refunded me my money, which kind of sucks because I really wanted to add that one. I really wanted to have it on the shelf. I'll keep searching for it. Hopefully sooner or later I'll come by it. And that's it. I just wanted to do this video for Halloween and, you know, talk about Junji Ito. I set all this stuff up. You know, I put these skeletons over there. These are really fun. I did like a music video thing with their, like I put music to this, and like I had them like fucking dancing and shit. It's going like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's just, they're so much fun, dude. These things are so cool. Like they move and whatnot. But like I wanted to set them up on my shelf. I might actually even leave this stuff up. I'm doing another video coming up next week. I'm gonna do another video. I'm gonna leave all this shit up for that other video, and it's just gonna be like everything that I collected in October, just all my October finds, all my October manga finds. So I'm gonna be doing that video. I'll probably leave all this shit up there, and then after that, for November, you'll just see the regular setup, and hopefully by then I'll have something more to talk about. I'll do another let's talk about something else, and then we got more vinyl journeys on the way as well. We had a lot of like really nice responses to the channel, which is incredible to me, so I'm so fucking grateful for that. Thank you for watching. Even if you only watched like 5 or 6 minutes of these videos, that means the world to me. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching this. My name is Oscar. Take care of yourselves. Do not do anything that will cause you harm. Be good people. Until next time, take care.
How you feel when you sippin' on drip in the whip? Haters talking shit, but I stay rolling lit. Stay holding splits, man, I crave popping pills. Sluggish on the drink, bitch, I'm chugging refills.